right, so this one, I'm gonna teach you guys how to draw a freehand circle. I think this is an important skill, although usually it's something that we put off because we usually have templates or things that we can trace lying around. But you're gonna find that at some point you're traveling or you're sketching out someplace and you don't have the proper size template or circle to trace. So I want you to be able to do this freehand. And I've got a couple of really easy tips for you so that you can try this at home and practice at home so that it's ready for you when you need it. So let's look at the page. Most of my students are going to try to draw solid lines for their circles. And I can do that, although I will tell you that usually it's a little bit trickier for me to do one solid line. I oftentimes wind up with lots of dents or bumps that are sticking out. So my first method is that I want you to puff up your dents. This is where I usually say it wrong, but you're gonna puff up your dents and you're gonna shave off your bumps. And those minor little adjustments can then be erased with your Mono Zero eraser or with your Tough Stuff eraser, and then you start to have something that looks closer to a circle. Another method that you can do is do that freehand solid line, shave off your bumps and puff up your dents, and then put a larger template around it so that you can see whether or not you're getting close. And then usually I find that a sketchy line and trying to make that a complete circle with a broken line is going to be a little bit easier than with the solid line. So that one looks pretty good. My second method is the dashed lines method. This one I think is much easier to pull off from the beginning, and it's also better because you can do this at a lighter pressure so that when you're tracing over this or drawing over this, you don't have that dark outline that's going to get in the way when you're shading. So you can do dashed lines, and then you can kind of use that same method of shaving off bumps and puffing up dents as you go around and darken that line if you need it to be a darker outline. Remember, it's always going to be helpful to rotate your page too. So sometimes I'm going to have to rotate and let that make it a little bit easier, just because my hand can move in a different direction that sometimes goes with the curve a little bit better. And then I can erase around that edge to get the one line that I really want to preserve. And you can see that that starts to look more circular. And then my third method is to use the dot method. So this one will take some measuring. You can use a ruler. This one was a 1-inch circle. I'm gonna do a 2-inch circle here so you can see it a little bit better. I'm gonna put the center dot, and then I'm gonna put equally spaced dots on either side, so 1 inch on each side. Then I'm gonna rotate my ruler, line up the center, and put 1-inch spaced dots vertically. And then I'm going to do the same thing diagonally on 2 sides. So this method, then I'm going to connect those dots. Remember that if you draw a straight line, you're going to have a very segmented shape. It's not going to be a circle, so you need to draw a curved line within each segment. And I'm going to start off with a lighter line, and then I'm going to get that a little bit darker once I'm certain that it's all in the right place. Again, you're still going to wind up with dents that you need to puff up and maybe some bumps that you need to shave off, but you can do that as you go. And then you can erase the thickness of the line to make sure that you're really just keeping the correct line after you've corrected those dents and bumps. And so those 3 methods I think will help you out quite a bit. Now, the last thing that I want you to remember is that once you do one version of one of these circles, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. All the time I will see my students take their page and they're going to crumple it up and throw it away when their circle doesn't turn out right the first try. Instead, think of it like you're going to have a first helper line, and then you're going to modify it and make some changes in order to get the correct circle. So it doesn't have to happen all in one set. Also, I want you to try these different sizes. So I want you to try some smaller circles, some medium circles, and some big circles. The big ones you might actually want to stand up and use your full arm for. So that's going to benefit you in that it's going to help you with your small motor skills, working with your finger, your wrist, or your gross motor skills, working with your elbow and your shoulder. So hopefully all those methods will help you out. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you all so much for watching. More videos are coming soon, so if you wish to subscribe to my channel, go ahead and do that. And also you can check out my website, lzmstudio.com.